Eddie Van Halen didn't just play guitar, he reinvented it. Born Edward Lodewijk Van Halen on January 26, 1955, in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and raised in Pasadena, California, Eddie grew up in a family where music was more than a pastime. It was a way of life. His father, Jan, was a professional clarinetist and saxophonist, while his mother, Eugenia, came from Indonesia. When the family immigrated to the U.S. in 1962, they arrived with little money, but a lot of music. At first, Eddie was a drummer, and his brother Alex played guitar. But after Eddie discovered Alex sneaking behind the drum kit one day and outperforming him, the brothers switched instruments, a decision that would change rock history. Eddie took to the guitar like it was destiny, spending endless hours practicing, often with his amp turned down to avoid disturbing the neighbors. He didn't just learn songs. He deconstructed them, rebuilt them, and made them his own. In 1972, the Van Halen brothers formed a band called Mammoth, eventually renaming it Van Halen when they discovered another group already had the name. With David Lee Roth on vocals and Michael Anthony on bass, they began playing backyard parties and small clubs across Los Angeles. Their explosive live shows and Eddie's jaw-dropping solos soon became local legend. By 1977, they were signed to Warner Bros. Records, and the world was about to meet a new kind of guitar hero. The band's debut album, Van Halen, 1978, was a sonic revolution. From the opening roar of Running with the Devil to the instrumental explosion of Eruption, it was clear that Eddie Van Halen was unlike any guitarist who had come before. His use of two-handed tapping, harmonics, and dive bombs created a sound that was both technical and emotional. Controlled chaos in the best sense. Eruption alone redefined what could be done with 6 strings, influencing generations of musicians overnight. Van Halen quickly became one of the biggest rock bands in the world. Albums like Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, and Fair Warning delivered hit after hit, Dance the Night Away, Ain't Talking About Love, and Unchained. Eddie's playing combined the precision of a virtuoso with the energy of a punk. He wasn't just fast, he was innovative. His famous Frankenstrat guitar, built from spare parts, became as legendary as the man himself. Behind the flamboyant frontman David Lee Roth and the party-hard image, Eddie was the quiet craftsman, obsessed with sound, tone, and perfection. When he wasn't touring, he was tinkering in his studio, experimenting with gear, amps, and recording techniques. His creation of the brown sound, warm, distorted, yet crystal clear, became a holy grail for guitarists worldwide. By 1984, Van Halen had reached their peak with the release of the 1984 album, featuring classics like Panama, Hot for Teacher, and the chart-topping Jump. Eddie's use of synthesizers on Jump shocked some fans, but proved his creative genius extended far beyond guitar. He had no interest in following trends. He made them. When David Lee Roth left the band in 1985, many predicted Van Halen's downfall. Instead, Eddie adapted again, bringing in Sammy Hagar as lead vocalist and scoring even more hits. Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, and Right Now. Each era showcased a different side of Eddie's artistry: the fearless innovator, the soulful composer, and the relentless performer. Outside of Van Halen, Eddie left his fingerprints all over rock history. His iconic solo on Michael Jackson's Beat It brought hard rock to pop audiences, creating one of the most famous guitar moments of all time. But behind the fame, Eddie battled personal demons. He struggled with alcoholism and later fought a long battle with cancer. Through it all, music remained his salvation. Even as his health declined, he continued to play, record, and inspire. On October 6, 2020, the world lost Eddie Van Halen at the age of 65. His passing marked the end of an era, but his legacy remains immortal. Every guitar player who bends a note, taps a fret, or chases the perfect tone owes a debt to him. Eddie Van Halen wasn't just a guitarist. He was a dreamer, a builder, and a visionary. He showed that music is not about limits, but about possibilities. His riffs, his solos, and his spirit still echo wherever rock and roll lives.